Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege and an honor to be invited to the BW Business World Education Lighthouse Awards. My dear brother, Dr. Anurag Batraji, thank you so much for inviting me. We have known each other for a few years, but every time I have interacted with you, I'm always touched with the energy and the vision that you have through Business World. So thank you, keep inspiring and keep helping all of us go together. My colleague, I won't say former colleague, I'll still say my colleague, former Union Minister, Dr. KJ Alphonse ji. You've always inspired us in the canteens of Parliament, in the Central Hall, and you still inspire us. So thank you for such a tremendous inspirational figure that you are. Your Lordship, Honorable Justice Rajiv Shakdar ji, former Chief Justice of High Court of Himachal Pradesh, and presently practicing in the Supreme Court. Thank you, Your Lordship. I was listening to you very intently. And in fact, some of the areas that you really mentioned relating to the GER falling, basic washrooms not there for girl children, I think are basic necessities. This is something that we have grappled with over the years. Things are improving, hopefully faster, but we are on the job, I can assure you of that. In fact, today I'm doing the job of the government, and the government is doing the job of the opposition, with all due respect, but thank you so much. I brought a 2-page note to talk about, but when I looked at the list of speakers and the list of awardees, I felt, why don't I talk about them? Because each of them have touched me in some way, very interestingly. And it's not like, while most of them I have known personally, there are some, though I haven't had the privilege of meeting earlier, they have touched my life. So I will forsake that 2-page note because tremendous intellectual strength has been provided by both my speakers, and probably dwell on why they are lighthouses in my book, why they are so important. I firstly come on the serial order as it there, Dr. Pramath Raj Sidhaji. Ashoka University, and prior to that, ISB. I don't know how many of you have been to ISB, but when ISB was actually envisaged, it was thought of once of its kind. And that model didn't exist for many years, even doesn't do it today. And Ashoka University, usually we go for professional education. But Ashoka University, when it was envisaged, and I had an opportunity to interact with different people with Ashoka, to be a liberal arts university in India is very brave. But to have done that, and many of my friends, their families have been blessed by Ashoka University. So thank you so much for being a great blessing, for being a great source of inspiration for us. Mrs. Rekha Puri ji, I haven't had the privilege of meeting you personally. This is my first time. But ma'am, you have touched my life with something very interesting. My daughter was seeking admission for her 11th in Delhi. I came at that point of time, I was probably 2-3 years as a member of parliament in Delhi, and I thought, okay, a member of parliament should get me through the door, hopefully. So I had interactions with your school, and they said, sir, even if it's the Prime Minister's office or anyone, we have standards and we will keep it. So thank you so much for letting us know, in Lutyens, Delhi, power won't get you. Your talent, your merit, which basically shows you have evened out the field in Lutyens, Delhi. Thank you for being such inspirational. You touched my heart that day when you refused admission to my daughter. And I thank you for that, because that taught me that everyone has an opportunity with your school. That is truly inspirational. Professor Anil Sahasrabuddhe ji, I have troubled you a lot. Institutions after institutions with half-baked ideas would come in, and I would run to Professor Sahasrabudhe Sahab, can you help us? The portal is not working of AICT, can you help us? I have never seen once that Professor Sahasrabudhe turned around and said, Dr. Patra, it's 11 in the night, can we talk tomorrow? He'd always say, we will figure it out. We will find it out. Running AICT, today it's far better, honestly, I'll tell you, but the kind of chaos that you have handled as its chairman, with the kind of pressure that AICT was during the period of time, the legacy that you held on to when you took over, I don't want to explain that on this forum, you know it well, we all know it well, and you cleared all the legacy, you cleared all the mess with a smile, and you never forgot that smile. Truly amazing. You have always touched me. We discussed NEP on the education committee. You were smiling and you were providing. There were times when you were charged by the members of parliament. You kept on smiling. You kept on saying your words. I think that was profound. So really, you've been a lighthouse. You're a lighthouse. Dr. Mrs. Pankaj Mittalji, as an academician, and we bump in some of the most exalted halls, by the way. Last time we bumped in, you remember where we bumped into each other? The Rashtrapati Bhavan. So, and Anuragji, your place is no. Therefore, we are meeting at exalted places all the time. But thank you so much for, because AIU, and I'll tell you why, because for 3 years, I was on the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Education. And AIU used to be a critical area on equivalence of degrees, especially FPM into PhD. At every given instance, whenever I have come to you, you said, Dr. Patra, no problems, we'll figure out a way. If it was a degree that was beyond the purview of AIU, you found out ways. If a university was not listed from Odisha on the AIU platform because of some technicality, you ensured it. So you have touched my life. You've touched lives of millions across. Thank you so much for being that inspiration for us. Dr. Ashok K. Chauhanji, I had a privilege of interacting with him virtually. He's not here today, but I've already met members from Amity. But I had the privilege of being twice to Amity and giving talks. And one thing that I've always felt is, he was one of the first people who thought about professional education in the way he did, when in India no one was thinking about it. People thought about the plaster laga do, kuch kar do, and then start an engineering or a management. No, he thought about it in a world-class way for Amity, many, many decades back, when people didn't have the courage to take loans and do something like that. And Amity as an institution has not only progressed, it has touched millions of lives, and every time I'm on the Amity campus, let me tell you, I feel inspired and touched with the vision that this great man had some 3 decades back, which is truly inspirational. Now I come to my dear brother and my friend who is in this room, Professor C. Rajkumarji, the founder, Vice Chancellor of O.P. Jindal Global University and the Dean of Jindal Global Law School, along with his wonderful wife, Pratibha. Pratibha, thank you so much for being here. Wonderful couple. Let me tell you interesting thing, how they have touched my life. And why they're lighthouse. Chits, please. Okay. No, I'm just joking. You know why and how? In 2021, we had a conversation. He said, Sasmit, you are a member of parliament. You've been a professor. You've been a dean. You've forgotten your earlier love of education. I was being a professor. So I said, what do we do? You know, I don't have a schedule. He said, we'll curate a schedule for you. And you come up with a course called as Law, Politics and Society. You offer it twice in a year, 45 hours each. So I used to travel twice a week till we could complete the course, right up to Sonipat and back. That was like 6 hours of involvement. And he said, no problems. You come. It was like 2 hours, then a break and 2 hours, or 1.5 hours, then break and 1.5 hours. Law, Politics and Society. And I want you as a practitioner. You've been a professor. You've been a dean. You are a lawyer. And you are a politician and a parliamentarian. So I want the kids to really understand how law comes in, because you are a legislator, how politics is behind it, the political intent, you're a politician, and then the impact on society. So then we curated an entire 45-hour session, which unfortunately I have played truant and I'm unable to do it now because of my time constraints. But every time I went to O.P. Jindal Global University, I've seen from a normal, small little building, the way Raj has built that institution into a world-class university. Many, 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 many accolades to you. I feel so inspired. I've been touched. Sorry, I'm taking a little time, but I'm coming to the wonderful young man in the room, Mr. Pratham Mittal. Your father is a great friend of mine. And I haven't still got the bundi ke laddu. So, Dr. Ashok Mittal, lovely professional university. I have always been inspired by the vision. From being one of the most beautiful and the most delicious, cuisine items that you can actually think of, to actually come up and do something like this. And trust me, you're not on your father's shadow. You have built your own charted path. And that is truly inspirational about you, which is really amazing. And last but not the least, he may not be today with us in this room, Dr. Pritam Singh ji. His family is here. But when I was thinking of doing my MBA, it was in the year 2000, and we used to think, who was the doyen for us in the business education field? Dr. Pritam Singh. The man who could think out anything out of the blue and create a new model of education in the business education? Dr. Pritam Singh. IIM Lucknow came up because of whom? Dr. Pritam Singh. MDI Gurgaon came up because of whom? Dr. Pritam Singh. Education in the management domain, because I have done my MBA, one could not think beyond Dr. Pritam Singh. And I had, again, he's touched me, you know how. I was made a distinguished honorary professor by MDI Gurgaon when Professor Chakravarti was there as the director. So I also spent some time in actually curating some of the academic stuff with MDI Gurgaon. And there, I came to learn the greatness of this man by the people whose lives he touched, how he transformed MDI Gurgaon. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. You are the true inspirational heroes. Keep shining. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Patra.